What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we're going to be taking a look at another pup game. I just put out a pup video at the beginning of the week, and I played this game pretty close after I played the previous one, and I've been having a lot of fun with pup, and I figured getting to show off a slightly different pup game is still a pretty good thing because pup is a free hero, which means you're going to see it 1 out of every 8 games, and it also means that you already own it if you are on a fresh account. And I also think it's really good right now, especially. And this game is going to start off very well. Getting to tie against a Share Bear on turn 1 is super clutch because that means that we have 4 gold on turn 2. And in our first 2 shops, we are picking up 2 support units plus a pretty reasonable unit to support, being that it is a dwarf, and this unit even gets the eeny meeny. So we've got a 9-10 crafty going into turn 2. We're going to be able to crack a few eggs even, and things are looking pretty good. Interestingly, I just kind of had this thought. I guess we want our opponent to attack first, unless they have a ranged unit, I guess, so maybe not, but if they just have some other stuff, we want them to attack first, so that way our Fanny is less likely to attack. But they don't have a ranged unit, they just have a little kitty cup person. Then, holy moly, we're going to see some more crafties. Now, interestingly, we kind of have to take this treasure because we are playing crafty, so we're very inclined to pick up this treasure here, basically regardless of whatever it is. And I do think that Bounty Board can be really good on pup. I actually think that I picked up Bounty Board in my last pup video. Obviously, Bounty Board isn't super great. Oh, I skipped that. Okay, well, I'm getting a little bit confused with my last video then, I guess, where I picked up Bounty Board and then did nothing with it. I guess in this video, I don't pick up Bounty Board and then proceed to play a Slay comp, because that's what I think is really good. Now, it would be pretty awkward there to play a unit down, so I get making that play there. In 11-12 is already plenty big enough, and I'd rather have an additional unit. There's probably more equity in that, but interesting decision there. I don't know. Let me know what you guys would do if you would take that treasure, because I think every point in the game, up until every decision in this game up until that point, I think was pretty straightforward, and there's not really a way to deviate from the plays I've made thus far. But now maybe you might not make that exact same play. So interesting to see what you guys would do. And here I am just going to grab this pair of kitty cup purse, and the reason I feel fine doing that is because pup, even with baby root, gets to give units a little bit of extra gold. And we've got kind of a cute looking board here, a little bit of symmetry other than the fact that the crafty is upgraded. And then strongly considering locking into the doubly, because doubly works really, really well with pup. It gets +4, +2, plus it gets whatever those support bonuses are. So if I put it supported by a baby root and a Fanny, then it's getting +8, +4, and then 6 from the Fanny, and then +4, or I'm sorry, +4, +4 from the Fanny, and +6 health again from the baby root. So it would be able to get a bunch of stats in that way. Unfortunately, we are going to lose this combat, and the main reason that I didn't lock is because on 3.1 is like the best time to find XP, and we get rewarded actually and get really lucky with some XP. There's also a support in this shop, but unfortunately we did not slay with either kitty cup purse. So there are some definite decisions to be made right now, but I think I need to purchase this XP. That is pretty straightforward. So what I'm going to do is sell off the baby root for a better support on this kitty cup purse. And we'll still keep a symmetrical board here with a little bit more thematic supports, and just try to play the strongest board that we can in the early part of the game. That's one of the reasons that I think pup is so strong, is because, and this isn't new to this patch, but Pup can just play such a strong board in the early game, and then the idea is now we're going to be leveling up to 4 with this XP that we found. Definitely getting a little bit lucky this game too with the crafties and now the kitty cuppers, which will even be able to buff the crafties potentially if we do decide to take a treasure here. I don't know, I don't remember taking any of these treasures, so it's probably just like Fairy Tale or something for a little bit of stats. And then from there, I guess, oh, okay, the Burning Palm and then roll for a 4-drop. Ooh, hitting the Wish Upon a Star is awkward because we cannot pick it up. But I guess I'm going to go for Greedy with that move of the Crafty there. This certainly seems like a greedy play in general, that we are focusing so much on econ this turn, but we're reasonably strong too. The crafties are now stronger that we've picked up a treasure, and the kitty cuppers 11-5. That's probably going to be able to trade with something. What was I saying? I guess I was saying it's lucky that we got all of this XP. But one thing that I do think is true about Pup is the strength that Pup provides definitely gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of being able to pick XP up, which, I mean, we've got some beefy units right now at 13-12, pretty big. And honestly, it's going to be able to do some work against my opponent, this 13-12 here. It's going to trade with 2 of my opponent's frontline units, and we actually win this combat. So pretty good stuff. We don't get any extra greedy cash. It would have been nice if the pig hit the greedy, but I guess we get the prized pig cash. So can't be too upset with that one. What are we going to do now, though? That's the question. This Grimsoul is kind of cute. There are things that I'll do with it in the future, and honestly, we could potentially, and I think I'll wind up doing this. It's tough to say, but what we could do is we could switch around the order of the Crafty, the Grimsoul, and the Kitty Cutpurse, and then the Grimsoul dies and we get 2 gold from the Kitty Cutpurse sleigh. So that is definitely a possibility. We are also facing up against the last place player in the lobby, so I do have to feel like there is a decent chance that we will walk away from this one with a win. Maybe I should have, instead of picking up the Grimsoul, tried to pick up some units that would make our board a little bit stronger, just because there's an XP on the line. But I guess I was feeling strong enough. I mean, we did just kind of demolish our last opponent, so maybe we don't need too much help. Obviously, that Potion Master was pretty strong. So we'll see. If we can win this combat, then that'll put us into 5.1, and then we're only 2 turns away from level 6. And regardless, next turn we're going to get to start picking up Baba Yagas, and that's obviously really powerful, and we'll see where we go from here. There's me noticing that I could have used the Grimsoul on the Kitty Cutpurse, but alas, does look like we're going to win this one and even walk away from this with some additional greedy gold and some additional prize pig gold. No Kitty Cutpurse gold from the Grimsoul, but still 15 gold on the turn. Not too shabby. Lancelot seems really good. It's better with Pup as well because you can support it and easily get that treasure from it. So that can definitely work out in our favor. And then, yeah, looking for Baba Yaga's going to feed this Wicked Witch to the Kraken just to have a little bit more gold to roll around. And we find another Grimsoul. That's probably going to be the pickup. And then could take the Nyan Sea Terror or lock it rather, but I'm going to decide against it. You'll see this is the patch where Pumpkin was on 5 still. This is a little bit old of a game, but we're not going to be making use of the Pumpkin, so I still figured it was fine to showcase. And the biggest thing, I mean, the takeaway from that is like, this is still a strong game, despite the fact that our opponents could potentially pumpkin us if they want to. I'm going to cut the kitty cup purse and only play Lance as my sleigh unit, so that way we can start to scale the Lance a little bit, and it works out pretty well for us. It's able to survive their doubly and then get a sleigh, and then we do lose this combat, but we only take 5 damage, and that is a pretty good price to pay for already having our Lance up to 1616. You can see I snap pick up that dragon there because that is where I want to be on Pup. Making use of this bounty board that I do not own. And then I will be able to grab a Grim Soul, which will give us a level 4 treasure. And I think it's fine to sell the kitty cup purse here. It's done enough work for us, and we can put the lightning dragon or the shadow assassin in on this one, and that'll be fine. And one thing that I'm thinking is Fool's Gold seems good. We are going to be level 6 next turn, but Gloves of Thieving with Lightning Dragon actually provides a really interesting concept, especially for Pup. Because Lightning Dragon, we're either going to be stealing ranged units or we're going to be stealing supports. And that's just really, really good with Pup. You can see me dictating there what I'm thinking about to coverage. Thank you, past NoLucksGiven. But this is another reason that I really like Pup, and it's not for gloves specifically. I kind of just came up with this tech right now, but basically, Pup likes to grab a lot of 4s. Now, we sped past level 4. We didn't stay there for too long. Oh, interesting. I think I'm going to go into Shoulder Fairies already. Okay, well, I didn't remember that part of the game either, but no matter. We're going to be really close to triggering our Lance treasure here. It does look like this Merlin is quite strong, but I think we will be okay. We're going to get a little bit more sleigh onto Lance, and I think we win this. Yeah, we win this, and we get 1 additional Lance sleigh there at the end. But what I was going to say is there's a lot of good 4 and 5 cost units for Pup, and now, especially with the addition of Horn as a tier 4 treasure, there's a lot of good tier 4 treasures for Pup too. Tier 3 treasures, really we're only looking for Bad Moon. I guess I could take a Fancy Pants, but I'm going to skip and just value the value of rolling. Then we see there is a Riverwash Mermaid in this shop, so I'm going to want to grab that and make use of that pretty soon. Obviously, the Sugar and Spice was a really good treasure for us to pick up as well, because that gave us a 25-25 Lance. So we're going to activate this Lance now regardless. I'll sell a little bit for the Riverwash Mermaid. I'm just going to lock this lucky coin because there's no reason not to. And then I will play a Shoulder Fairies. And I put the Crafty in the back because then we'll hit our opponent just for a little bit more damage. And you can see we didn't actually need the Sugar and Spice. The Riverwash Mermaid is going to activate the Lance with the +2/+1 anyways, but didn't know I was going to find that. But the big Riverwash Mermaid is still a huge pickup for this turn, and now our Lightning Dragon gets to scale. Obviously, the bounty board would have been doing pretty good work, but the coin helped us for sure to be able to pick up that second Crafty. But you can't help but think what could have been, you know. So now we are getting some huge stats onto Lance and some nice stats onto the Shadow Assassin as well. And our Shoulder Fairy isn't going to be big enough this turn, but next turn I think it's going to start to look pretty big. So we'll take a little bit of damage here, 9 damage from the Horde Dragon, but we are going to get this tier 5 treasure, and when I see Evil Eye, I'm pretty inclined to just snap it up. Hand of Midas is cool, but we're playing Pup. So I mean, I could definitely see a cause for Hand of Midas there. The real reason to, I guess, take or not take the Hand of Midas is because since this is our 3rd treasure, it's good to like get a treasure that will, I don't want to say waste itself, but like exhaust itself, use itself, if that all makes sense. And now I am just trying to figure out how to best organize this board. And then there's also another Riverwash Mermaid on the table here in this shop that I'm going to want to pick up. So kind of weird to figure out exactly how to stack this board. I do want to try to scale as much as possible, which includes playing both Shadow Assassin and Lancelot and Grimsoul and Lightning Dragon, but we are going to be a little bit weaker because we are not playing the Shoulder Fairies. So I think that's fine, just kind of prioritizing some scaling here. I think that we're strong because we are pup. Now, we have spent a decent amount of gold this game on XP, especially early gold, but, I mean, Evil Eye, Baba Yaga, Riverwash Mermaid, how can you not? So we will just go for that here, and you're gonna see how calculated or this plan is really gonna pay off, because we're going to Lightning Dragon and steal a Baba Yaga with our gloves. So feeling really, really good about that. Plus, Lance is just massive, so that is going to really give us a lot of staying power. Lance now up to 100, which is really, really good news for the Riverwash, not the Riverwash Mermaid, the Shoulder Fairies that we've got waiting in the wings. And Lance is even going to get one more sleigh, and then Riverwash Mermaid's going to make it a tie. So yeah, perfectly calculated. That worked out wonderfully for us. We now get to grab this Baba Yaga in the shop and grab the Baba Yaga that we stole from my opponent and grab another tier 5 treasure. And I think for this one we want to grab Hand of Midas, replacing the Fairy Tale. It's a little bit awkward because I guess I don't really want the Hercules, but we're just rolling for Jormungand now. That's like the main idea. Or I'd potentially take like a Baba Yaga. Those, I think, are the two main things. Double Good Boy is certainly at least worth considering, and there's a reasonable spell in this shop, but I think I want to keep going and yeah, really just keep looking for those units that I just mentioned. Jormungand will make this final comp go a little bit crazy. I'll just cast a Candy Rain. We're up against the Ghost, so I'm not really super scared, and not going to find anything on this one, but we get to maximize our scaling still against the Ghost, and then eventually we will focus on putting in the Shoulder Fairies that we have. So feeling pretty good. The Lightning Dragon's going to scale. The Lance is going to get to crazy proportions, which is just going to make the Shoulder Fairy stronger and stronger, and we still have some time to find a Jormungand. This game isn't over just yet. So feeling pretty good about this one. And then the Evil Eye now with the tripled Baba Yaga, we are going to see this Lance get to some crazy numbers, even just by the end of this combat. This is going to be one of the bigger Lance games that we are able to put together. And the Lightning Dragon is like double slaying and not even dying, so it's a pretty good game for Lightning Dragon. Lance, I think, just got even bigger there. The Riverwash Mermaid not even dying. So just great stuff all around. The second Riverwash Mermaid does die, but then we're going to finish it off with a Shadow Assassin getting some slays too. So let's see what we can find. Another Shoulder Fairies. Definitely worth considering. It's a bunch of stats, and it'll be even more stats if we Hand of Midas it. I think we can do better though. And I'm going to roll a little bit more for Jormungand. Don't want to spend this hand on the Grimsoul. I'm not even sure how much longer I can get away with playing Grimsoul. Oh, I do like this, though. Yeah, Evil Twin on Riverwash Mermaid, and then we pick up the Riverwash Mermaid, and this doesn't count towards our hand, so we still get to keep our Hand of Midas, and now we get to slot in the Shoulder Fairies. Now, what is a little bit awkward about doing this is this does mean that the Shadow Assassin no longer gets to be supported by the Lance. Wait, what am I saying? The Shadow Assassin no longer gets to be supported by the Riverwash Mermaid. So kind of interesting there. I strongly consider picking up the Baba Yaga, but I feel like it's really, at this point, I just want to spend it on Jormungand, and that's what I want to do, so that's what I'm going to do. And the Lightning Dragon, again, still not dying, and the Lance is going to just continue to get huge. So all of this pretty cool. We're not making full use of the Baba Yaga, which is a little bit regrettable. And the Lightning Dragon actually is so big now that it is messing with growing our Lancelot. So that's something to consider. But having this huge Lightning Dragon is going to make things a lot easier when we eventually do find that Jormungand and are able to power it up a little bit. But you see at this point, there's only like 2 combats left in the game. And I am starting to feel like I just want to make use of this Hand of Midas. So at this point, I'm really considering picking up the Shoulder Fairies, but I don't go for it. Still, I feel like we can roll for this Jormungand and find it. It would be so sweet on this board, and we can definitely still make it work. So I'm going to roll. I find the Pigomorph, though, and I do want to pick that up. And now, oh, okay, is this the Baba Yaga I lock? Okay. I did think that I locked the Baba Yaga this game, at least temporarily. Maybe I'll unlock it again, but we can maybe play this Baba Yaga. The thing is, if we are going for this Lance strategy, we can really just make this Lance huge. And that's kind of the idea here. Let's just support this Lance as much as we can. I'll put both Baba Yagas on it, and we'll just try to go crazy with Lancelot and make something absolutely ginormous. Interesting. At this point, I'm thinking about not playing or backlining the Lightning Dragon. Yeah, just some interesting decisions that can be made here with the Slay comp, and honestly, it's really hard to figure out these positionings sometimes, but this is what we're going to go with. I would have liked to steal the Croc, but wait a minute. I actually just stole an upgraded Baba Yaga. So, okay, that's pretty good. Maybe I don't need to have that Baba Yaga that I locked in the shop, and the positioning is going to get even tighter, but I think that's actually just going to fundamentally change the comp that I wanted to play. Because when you're playing Jormungand comps, that's when the positioning gets a little bit wonky, because you want to always be playing the Grimsoul, you need to be playing the Lightning Dragon, and now, I mean, Lightning Dragon is still very good, but now we're at a place where we can just cut this Lightning Dragon, totally scale up the Lancelot, and then have a huge Shoulder Fairy as well. So, not going to be making use of this Baba Yaga that we just locked, because I just got an upgraded Baba Yaga for free. So I'll go for another Pigomorph because we are in the finals, want to respect our opponent a little bit. See a Knighthood there, which is pretty nice as well. Would still like to pick up something to use this Hand of Midas on. Doesn't look like we're going to get there this turn. So let's figure out our positioning now. I do want to play both Baba Yagas supported on the Lancelot, so let's put that in this position. And now I think I'm just going to cut the Riverwash Mermaid. The idea here is, well, I have to play the Shadow Assassin, might as well play a backline, and I want to play all the Baba Yagas, and I want to play this Grimsoul too, because that's going to grow the Lancelot, and we are not killing this Potion Master in one combat. Now, it's not going to take too long. If we win these combats, we just really have to look at our golden units minus Grimsoul. We're going to deal 12, we're going to deal 18 damage. So if the Shoulder Fairy, the Lance, and my back line all survive, that is 17 damage, and we'll win this in 2 combats. Now my opponent's pretty big, but Lancelot is still going to be able to slay. It just won't be able to slay and survive. Nice, they do hit the Grimsoul. That's huge, because that's even more stats on the Lancelot, and that's definitely going to be helpful. It does look like this game is going to take at least 3 combats, though. So as we hit my opponent for 15 right now, yeah, it's gonna take a second. Yeah, we can take the Creeper for Econ. And then maybe let's try to spend this Hand of Midas. Don't really want Hercules, but I am considering it. And Hercules plus Gigantify gives us a 50 attack Hercules, so it's definitely worth considering. But I am just going to grab onto the Shoulder Fairies. Upgraded Shoulder Fairies is just huge at this point, and we're only making it bigger with the Lancelot. Though, I mean, my opponent's pretty strong. I think they're going to be able to kill our Lancelot. But we've got... we could potentially kill my opponent right here now, right? 15... No, because Grimsoul's going to die. Okay, so we can hit them for 15, 21, 22. Okay, if just Grimsoul dies, everything else survives. We actually win right here, which is kind of an incentive to put in Lightning Dragon instead of Grimsoul, because this could be the last combat. I think that's a long shot, though. So I still want to scale just a little bit more, and for that reason, I'm going to put the Grimsoul in, and I'm even going to put the Grimsoul in first position. I think that that is slightly better, too, just so that way it guarantees triggers on the Lance and provides us with a bunch of stats. So the Grimsoul is just going to die, but now Lance is up to 500, and we will see some of our other units, I'm sure, die here now, because my opponent's backline is pretty big, too. So not quite going to get the kill, but we're going to get pretty dang close here before my opponent gets rid of a few more things with their Robin Wood. It would have been nice if they hit the Shoulder Fairies there. We could have got a little bit more scaling. But 15 damage again, and now we are definitely on the final. So now it is kill shot time. Now we don't have to worry about scaling. I will say I think I play this last combat a little bit incorrectly, but we'll talk about that after the fact. I should have, I definitely don't need Baba Yaga. I should have just recognized that this is the last combat of the game and played my board accordingly, but definitely huge shout out to Gloves of Thieving on this game, as we are going to be getting a 2 treasure win. I mean, Evil Eye's insane, but Gloves of Thieving stole us this upgraded Baba, and then it stole us one of the parts for tripling the first Baba and found us the Hand of Midas, and there we go. That should definitely get in here. Another Shoulder Fairy will definitely make this comp stronger, and we can definitely slot that in. So what I should have done was kept the Happy Little Tree and the Lightning Dragon in and just cut the Baba Yagas for this final fight, but this is still going to be pretty strong here, and we'll get a little bit more scaling in case anything goes wrong. But another Shoulder Fairies is quite a large pickup and will certainly allow us. We only have to win this combat with 1 unit remaining, so that will definitely be easy enough to do. We'll be able to, one of these Ashwood Elms is going to trade with our Shoulder Fairies, and then the other one gets to take out their Robin Wood. So there you go. Pretty commanding pup game. Like I said, the final combat should have just been replace this Baba Yaga with a Lightning Dragon, put Lance into position 1, and then just play like a backline Happy Little Tree, because one Happy Little Tree surviving would have been enough to kill my opponent, and these Baba Yagas weren't really doing anything. Maybe the Happy Little Tree in a pinch could have traded with something, but don't even remember what... they were Forking Rod, Black Prism, and then I think the questing spell, right? Yeah, okay, so they weren't really close to putting anything together, but, maybe if they... Well, no. Okay, we had that one in the bag. But, yeah, there you go. There is the power of pup yet again. Not quite going to be exactly what I envisioned the comp was going to be going into the game, but I think that also just speaks to the power of pup, is how flexible pup can be too. So hopefully that was a good showcase for pup for y'all, and definitely a good showcase for Gloves of Thieving plus Lightning Dragon if you're working with pup. That's going to be it for me for this one. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.